What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I have been very absent the last couple of weeks. Yeah, I mean, the video I just finished uploading as of recording, my film review of Doctor Strange, even that's a week late. I recorded it the night I watched it. Night after. I think it was the night after, actually. Never got around to uploading it because I've been so busy with assessments. Assessment I'm doing at the moment is a group assessment, and as part of it, one of the things we did in class was something that I've done on this, I'm pretty sure I've done it on this channel before, but it was still interesting to go back and have a look, and that was a Myers-Briggs test. So I did it again. Now last time I did it, I think I got I'm almost certain that I got the same thing. So it was very interesting to see that I got the same thing, and if I remember correctly, the last time I did this on this same site, I had very similar percentages as well. So yeah. So my personality is I am a protagonist, serving that main character energy, best believe it. But what in the almighty fuck does that mean? I am what's known as a turbulent protagonist, because apparently we've now decided to add an extra T or an A to the end, depending on, I mean, I'll get into it, but yeah, it's kind of weird. So I'm what's known as a turbulent protagonist. So I am extroverted, intuitive, feeling, judging, and turbulent. And obviously, as I said, I'll get more into those and I'll explain what those actually mean. The judging part does not necessarily mean that I will judge people. It's more that I judge situations before acting on them. The little blurb that it gives for my personality is these warm, forthright types love helping others and have the creative energy to achieve their goals, which I can owe that to my Sagittarius rising, giving me the passion, and then my Libra sun for giving me the logical drive behind that, hence the intuitive part. The feeling part is because basically the rest of my chart is water, except for my moon sign, Neptune, and Uranus. So fun times. And those three are earth signs, which helps ground me every now and then. My role, according to this site, which I will obviously link in the description, but my role is the diplomat. So diplomats focus on empathy and cooperation, shining in diplomacy and counselling, which, if you've been my friend for more than 0.2% of a second, you should know. And that part as well is also really what drew me to paganism, just as a whole. My specific being a Neo-Celtic pagan and focusing more on ancestor revelation is completely your personal choice. But just paganism as an umbrella term for my spiritual beliefs. Empathy and cooperation, diplomacy, and counselling in the way of like looking out for one another. Those are all core principles to paganism as a whole. Continuing on, they're imaginative, warm, empathetic, and influential people, often playing the role of harmonizers, which I have found I tend to do, just looking at how how I interact with people, especially in like conflict resolution. I do tend to be that like mediator, find the middle ground sort of person. Again, I am a Libra. That's kind of what we do. Truth will out, and you know, like honesty and equality, basically. Everyone is a human being, so we all start off at an equal harmonious level. Imaginative, yes, I got into afters. Obviously, warm. Look, because I know that I've dealt with people who probably don't think that about me. So obviously just depends on the day, maybe, or whatnot. Because this kind of goes with a point that I was going to bring up about being a harmonizer, is that sometimes there are people that don't want harmony. You know, they don't want to be diplomatic about things. They don't want to cooperate. They want it their way, and that's it. And if you try to jump in, you're like, okay, but like, let's weigh up the no. Yeah, villainized very quickly for trying to be an advocate for the devil, and that immediately is like, oh well, you picked sides, even though you're trying to take both sides and neither at the same time. So there are some people who, even though I might try to approach with warmth and kindness, they'll just look at me and be like, no, fuck off. And that's where the negative side of my Sagittarius rising comes into play, because I will shoot you in the ass faster than you can blink if you try to disrespect other people, especially the other people that I care about while I'm present. I really try to, like, it's not really even a try, I really just embody that do not insult Albus Dumbledore in front of me vibe, you know? Except Albus Dumbledore is like a person I care about. Empathetic, I mean, it's now twice in that diplomat role that empathy or a related word has come up. Influential people, I don't know that I need that responsibility of being someone's influence. If I do, I apologize, because I don't know that I'm necessarily a good influence. I do radiate quite a lot of chaotic energy quite a lot of the time, and that's not necessarily the kind of influence you necessarily want. However, it has served me well in immediately establishing rapport with film crews when I've worked on films before. So, and so far, it's done me pretty well in establishing a good rapport with my cohort. So, and then my strategy that this gives me is social engagement, which, surprise, surprise, I have active social media sites that I upload to. So social engagers reconnect their brains to their mouths every now and again. No, we are restless, perfectionistic people. Why is that word got so many similar sounds right next to each other? That I don't like that. Anyway, basically, we're perfectionists, is what I was trying to say. Prone to experiencing very positive and very negative emotions. Oh god, yes. Yeah. Logically, whenever I'm taking, you know, a strongly agree, strongly disagree sort of spectrum test, I tend not to pick the strongly agree and strongly disagree. I'm usually somewhere in the middle, because that's where my emotions sit, and when I'm trying to think through something logically, I do not want them getting involved, because I will, no. And when you're doing something like a personality test, you want to be trying to look at yourself from outside perspective, like, yeah, no, I kind of do that. So it's only if it's like, oh, there's no other option. It's yes, will I pick the extremes? But again, that just comes down to being a Libra, being, trying to find that middle ground, being that harmonizer. It's just trying to find some balance. Like, yeah, this seems like the most appropriate answer, and we try not to go to extremes. Because that's where emotions live, and yeah, no, cut that shit off at the source. They're curious and willing to work hard, making them high achievers, which only serves to make the perfectionism all that much more of a personality flaw, yeah, that's been a ride and a half trying to overcome that. And my percentages are, I am 54% extroverted, so very, very middle ground, as we can see there. I'm mostly extroverted, that's what, 8% difference? So mostly extroverted, I likely get energized by social interaction and tend to openly express my enthusiasm and excitement. Here's where that 8% difference is important. I do not get energized by social interaction. As an empath, I am able to feel the atmosphere, like the emotional atmosphere of a given situation, and I am able to present myself in that same sort of vibe, essentially. So if I'm having a bad day and I'm not feeling great, spending time with people who are having a good time will help to lift my mood, because I'm able to sort of take some of that positive energy on, which is why I really love going out drinking with friends, even though I can't drink because of my epilepsy. Because drunk people are the happiest people you'll ever meet, and being able to just sort of vibe with them is really cool. Plus, they're not really going to get too fussed that you're not feeling great. They're having a good time. You vibe with them, then you're all good. And being an empath, I'm able to very quickly vibe with them. Makes me feel great. On the other hand, though, I myself, in that 8%, actually get energized by my own personal passions. And if you happen to share that passion and, or that activity or that, franchise or whatever it might be, if you happen to share that passion with me, that's when I can get energized by that social interaction, because we are both able then to contribute positive energy to the situation, even if it's just a one-on-one. So that's where that one is just that little bit off. But I am assuming that these are all just set texts. My energy is intuitive. So my mind's extroverted, my energy is intuitive, and this is actually the most extreme score for any of mine. It's at 70%. So I'm mostly intuitive. Says I'm likely very imaginative and open-minded, focusing on hidden meanings and distant possibilities. I'm a tarot reader, so yes, I am an astrologer. I'm learning palmistry at the moment. So looking for hidden meaning. I've got a book in my drawer back here on it's like decoding symbolisms in dreams and stuff. Like, this sort of stuff interests me. And then as far as distant possibilities are concerned, yes, I have lofty aspirations, but bet your ass I am working hard to achieve those. So finding the hidden meanings, Also makes me an excellent gunter, and I will forever use that term. Thank you, Ready Player One, for presenting that term to me. It means that I can easily find the hidden symbolism and stuff in any given thing, should I choose to. Sometimes you just want to watch a thing because you enjoy it. When I'm doing that, I'm not really focusing on looking for hidden meanings. But if I went to, imaginative, yes, again, obviously, and then open-minded, I think, is the only other one here that I have to comment on. And I really don't understand closed-minded people. You come into a situation with your preconceived notions of what something is, and then what? After that, at best, it's admitting to being stubborn. At worst, it's just leaving and having people think that you're just an arsehole. Why? I don't understand it. But hey, prove me wrong. I am open to that possibility. I don't understand why, if you've got preconceived notions, why you aren't out there trying to see if they're correct and being willing to grow and evolve as a person. I don't get it. So if you are looking at that, the opposite of that being a sensing, someone whose energy is sensitive. Are sensitive people closed-minded? I don't know. I'd be interested to find out though. My nature is feeling. It is at a 59%. So again, mostly feeling. You likely value emotional expression and sensitivity, prioritizing empathy, social harmony, and cooperation. Really, this nature in feeling is what gives me that role as a diplomat. Emotional expression. I'm speaking specifically to the men here. It is okay to express your emotions and keep your masculinity intact. You can have both. I know it might not seem like it. It might seem like you have to choose between one and the other. But you can have both. That is possible. You've just got to be willing to explore that possibility. Sensitivity kind of goes with that. Allowing yourself to be emotionally vulnerable with people is okay. If it's a romantic partnership that you are in, especially within that context, it's not just okay, it's encouraged to show some emotional sensitivity, some emotional vulnerability. It humanizes you, and that's where you can then attach to your masculinity, because if you didn't have your emotions, you would be an object, and objects don't have my mind's just completely gone blank. I know I was making a point. I hope I made it, because that's gone. My tactics, judging, and this is the part where it's not like I'm going to take one opportunity, whatever. That's not how I work. So that's at the 61%. So mostly judging, you're likely decisive, thorough, and highly organised. You value clarity and prefer planning to spontaneity. That's what the judging is. It's looking at a situation, weighing up the pros and the cons of particular courses of action within the confines of that situation, and which one's going to result in the most mutually beneficial outcome for all parties involved. that's what a judging personality has to offer. And yeah, I do love my plans. This is my second highest one at 61%. So yeah, there's a bit of space there. That's 39%. Where spontaneity can fit into my life. Because sometimes it's great to just, I don't have a plan. We're just going to embrace the chaos that is life and, okay, cool. The thing happened and now we have a life experience that we can learn from to grow as a person. But when it comes down to things, I do like my plans. And as I have discovered, particularly while doing screen business, that's actually something that I always saw it as sort of like a weakness, I suppose. It's not really the right word, but it's the closest to the sentiment, I guess. But no, so I'd always sort of seen it as like a thing that got in the way, basically. And then, you know, because I wanted to write, and I wanted to direct, I wanted to do like the creative things. And how can you be creative if you're always having to try and plan things? And as a director, you can't plan when your actor is going to improvise a line or a scene that just off the cuff is better than what the script says. You can't plan for that. So this has been a thing where I've had to allow myself to occasionally just allow the chaos of life to show me where things can improve. And I'm sure the more I grow and evolve, the more that judging percentage might come down. Meaning that at some point I may stop giving main character vibes. Not anytime soon though. This is my story, and you clicked on this video to find out about it. So, but no, being, you know, I like that it says I'm decisive. I'm a Libra. Libras are like the most indecisive sign ever. So, sure, I guess. But being thorough and highly organised, yes. I think a part of that comes to OCD, whether as an actual thing that I have or just as a learnt behaviour from my mother, who is also highly organised, almost to the point of OCD. It's one way or the other. And then valuing clarity. Having clarity, especially, again, to take this back to like the diplomat thing and being a harmonizer, having clarity from both sides of exactly what their perspectives on a particular thing that happened are makes it a lot easier to come to a decision quickly. If you've got one person trying to be honest and another person just flat out lying, it kind of makes it a little bit more difficult. And then obviously further down just means that you're more likely to take the other person, like the person that was telling the truth that one time, you're more likely to take their side, which is not a thing that we want to do. We want to be able to have open and honest communication for collaboration. And then my identity is turbulent. So I'm mostly turbulent at 54%, and again, we've got an 8% difference here. So something here is probably not going to be accurate, but it says you're likely self-conscious, sensitive to stress, success-driven, perfectionistic, and eager to improve. Which, yeah, kind of. And then down the bottom here it says that it recommends that I retake the test 5 months from now. Fun part about that is 5 months' time is my birthday. So I will probably retake this on my birthday. And then I'll update you then. So yeah, so I'm going to leave my little blurbs in the description down below, along with the link for this site if you want to go and take the test for yourself. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can look at on this. You can have a look at where your personal superpowers are and how to practice using them in a variety of situations for personal growth. There's a bunch of different reports on where you can deepen your relationships, romantic and otherwise, and better understand your loved ones. And then there's another one that has different ways that you can learn how to navigate the professional world and achieve your big goals without burning out. As far as a career is concerned, you can also, if you want to, you can pay for a premium profile. Honestly, since this is such an insightful tool, if you know how to use it properly, since this is such an insightful tool, I'm probably going to at some point upgrade, because it says here instantly unlock the remaining 95% of insights. So then maybe give you a little taste, just like I've done in this video. Yeah, I think the last thing that I sort of wanted to touch on was we were doing a little reflection on this specifically today in class, because we had actually done these tests last week. And one of the people in my class sort of mentioned how they thought that this particular tool, the context that they were using it in was like they thought that the exercise of doing it in class was kind of silly when we can just turn to our collaborators on the project that we're working on, have a conversation with them, and that's how we will find out how well we work together, rather than just like looking at what Myers-Briggs personality type we are. And the teacher sort of, I think, put some words in his mouth and said, and sort of said how, to her understanding, that meant that he thought that his personality was something that could change from day to day based on how he felt. To which I almost raised my hand to ask the question, how are you differentiating mood from personality there? Because to my understanding, what she was describing was mood, whereas what he was talking about was just, active communication in a collaborative environment, where doing this test might not necessarily have been necessary, because it doesn't. If you get along with people, you get along with people, and it doesn't really matter what your personality type is. But I do understand how, for a screen business assessment, this is something that can be useful when you sort of look at the strengths that those particular personality types might have. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I've got for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button wherever it is on your device. Third time's the charm. Link in the description down below, along with my little blurbs and stuff. If you just want a TLDR, basically. While you're hitting the subscribe button, if you could go ahead and ring that notification bell, that would be greatly appreciated. Go ahead and turn on those push notifications so you can be kept up to date with when I upload new videos. And until next time, guys, keep your head screwed on.